Hi, this is Kingsley again from SchoolConnect, and today we'll be dealing with step 6 of the school setup process in SchoolConnect. Step 6 speaks of your fees, your school fees, and every kind of collections the school takes in. So from the dashboard, from the school setup dashboard, step 6 is what we are seeing here. And if you go again under the header to see a description of fee items, it tells you format each line as item name, compulsory or optional, and description. Item name, compulsory, optional, and description. And this is what comes with the school setup. Once you are on this page, you can see, but you can add and you can delete. So for example, now I can delete this algebra. Maybe this school was charging for algebra and it was compulsory. I delete that line and I can put my own line. Maybe in my school we do gymnastics, for instance, and I want to charge for gymnastics. Maybe there are students who say, yes, we would like to do gymnastics, and I have someone to teach them. Most likely this is not a core subject, it's not a core feature in most schools, and so it will not be compulsory, it will be optional. And so I would go this way: gymnastics pipe is optional, so I just put optional there, optional pipe, and then I describe what it is. So I can say lessons on gymnastics, or whatever description I want to put there, and I can save this, and this will be how it will be. However, that may not be the only thing that should be done, and so like I said earlier on, I would prefer, outside of this compliance, this step 1 compliance, every other step to be handled on its main page, which can be accessed from the side panel. And so if we go to fee structure and fee items, we can see here on the left side panel we have fee structure and fee items, and what we're dealing with here was the fee item. So let's start with fee items here, and you can see you can see the last one we put in here, gymnastics. Did I make it compulsory? Okay, maybe I didn't. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Lessons on gymnastics. Well, let me be sure I made that compulsory. Let me be sure. Fees. Oh, I think I made it compulsory. Okay, I thought maybe I was thinking optional while I was typing in compulsory. All right. Back to the fee items. I can make this. So you can add any fee item. Now this is everything the school deals with in terms of collecting money from parents. Put everything here. The one that is optional, make it optional. The one that is compulsory, you make it compulsory. You can edit. So assuming I had made a mistake in this gymnastics was supposed to be optional and I put in compulsory, I can edit this. I can edit this and make it optional and save that. I can edit and becomes optional here. If there are fees that you are no more collecting, maybe you're not collecting end of term events, maybe this is first term and there are no events in first term, you can deactivate this first term end of term events here. So by clicking this button and graying it out, the status becomes inactive. So that's how you set fee items. But that is not the end. You will need to also set fee structures, especially in cases where different classes pay different things. And just as we had in the subject and classes, we have a similar thing here. And if you see, you can see the compulsory fees first here. That's why they are marked with CCC, and you can see the optional fees here, OOO. And therefore each class you have to put in however amount of money you are being charged for whatever fee item. And like I said, this is a one-off, or sometimes maybe if things change, I need to update or downgrade your school fees, you come here and also do it. And so let me use nursery one for instance. Now maybe nursery one school fees is 250,000. I just write in 250,000. That's all. They pay registration maybe for and most schools wouldn't make registration compulsory, because that means you're going to be doing it every term. There may actually be schools that take registration fee every term. I don't know, but some other schools don't take it every term. So if that were the case, registration fee should not be compulsory, it should be optional. But let's assume this is a school that takes registration fees every term. So let's assume your registration fee is 25,000 for this school. Development levy 10,000 naira maybe. Learning materials, and learning materials, some other schools I think is done once a term, and if that is the case, then it should be under optional and not compulsory. But let's assume some schools also every term have one or two learning materials to give the children, and it's compulsory. Fine. And so let's assume you, for this school, pays 60,000 for learning material, and for diction is a big deal, so we pay 50,000 naira for diction, so our children can speak well and write. All right, so you see, you do this for every class that you have, and like I said, this is most likely going to be a one-off. You do it for the compulsory and the optional. So maybe there are times uniforms. Yes, uniforms is a typical example of an optional fee. It's not compulsory every term. It's only when it's requested, and we'll come to that when we come to the invoicing of how to handle invoices when something is optional but a particular student wants that feature or wants that service from the school, and how do they get in their invoice. We'll get to that when we'll get to invoicing. And so this is how you set up your school's your fee structure. And if you already had something going on earlier on in your first term, you can click on copy from first term, and you copy everything that was in your first term straight into it to populate these pages, so you don't need to go back and forth rewriting everything you had rewritten last term. And so that's how and once you're done with this, you save. You make sure you click the save the fee structure, and it will be saved. So primary one. So when you are creating invoices, why this is important: when you are creating invoices for the children, you don't do it one by one. No, you do it in bulk for a class, and so in fact for the whole school. So the system goes in and picks the invoice for that class and draws in everything that is compulsory, or however you set it up. If it was compulsory or it was optional, it draws it in, and then you can send it to parents just like that without having to go through it one by one, except there are cases where a child from a class that something is not compulsory wants that thing, and then you can go into the individual invoice and edit that and adjust that. But for the most cases, you set up your fee structures this way, and it is set. It's a once done once, you don't go back to it except you need to update or change some figures. And that's how we set up our fee structure in SchoolConnect. I hope we are all learning how this goes and seeing how easy it is to set up on SchoolConnect. Most of these setup stages, most of the steps in this setup stage are done once, and you almost never have to go back to them. All right, thank you. We'll see for the next step. God bless you.